Hello, this is Obianujuma Virginia. I'm your host as usual. Welcome to another segment of Own It with Ovi. Alright, so today we'll be discussing, or rather, we'll be speaking with Chukwudi Daniel. He's a poet and he's a writer and he's also a realist. Alright, so he'll be sharing his journey so far. Also, we'll be discussing about issues bothering the contemporary African writer and also many other, discussions as well. So let's welcome, or rather, you guys should just welcome with me Chukwudi Daniel. Hi.
Hello, June.
Hi, Daniel. Or which one would you prefer me to call you?
Which one is fine by me. Daniel is fine. Chidi is fine.
Or
It's okay.
Chido.
Anyone you want is fine by me. Chido is okay.
Okay, so I've already introduced myself. I'm Obianujuma Virginia. This is another segment, and I'm having you as my guest speaker. I'm so intrigued to have this conversation with you today. So kindly introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your early life or whatever information you want us to know about you.
My name is Ivebunem Livinus Chukwudi Daniel Mary. I'm just me. Once a dancer, before I became a writer, before writing found me. Born in Lagos, from Anambra precisely, and schooled in Calabar. And that's all, just the basic about me. Yeah.
So how long have you been a writer? Because you said you started off as a dancer. I think we have something in common.
Yes. I think it was about 2011, 12. Yeah. I went for a program, a precise program in Futo, really, where I met great minds like Chidozie Ije, Mba John, and Chima Woki Chima. So these people really inspired me. I saw people reading hours to hours. And then, most importantly, Chidozie was one person that's kind of, I loved what he was doing then. They used to call him a philosopher, but he was just a science student then. He loved to read, and then basically, I fell in love with what he was doing, and that was how I started off, jokingly. I went back to my drawing board, started reading books, poetry, literature, and then that was just it. And the rest is history today. So that's just basic.
So it's been like how many years now?
2011, 12, let me say officially 2013.
Wow.
13, 14 years till now. Yes.
That's like almost a decade, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly.
Because we're in 2023.
Yeah, 2013. Decade.
That's so nice to hear. As you said earlier, you're a dancer. I was a dancer or something of that sort.
Yeah.
So, as a dancer, or rather as a writer that you are right now, how do you find your inspiration? What makes you to, how do you get creative with yourself? How do you write your poem and all that?
Okay. Basically, it's a common saying that every writer is a child of its milieu, a child of culture. That means something inspires you to write.
Yeah.
Maybe to solve existential problems, or or maybe go back to time, go back in time where things were how it was. So I think Nigeria's predicament made me go into writing. There's this inspiration that comes with it. You just want to be heard. You want to create a panacea for these things, and then it got me moving, and that was how I got into writing. And basically, that's just it. So yeah.
So what exactly do your poem, is it like more of romance? Is it more, you're on your bio already, you're already a realist, so I want to just know, do you specialize more on romance or more on what the situation is in the country or worldwide or globally and all that?
The funniest thing, I don't think I've written anything on romance in a long while.
Wow.
I don't think so.
Wow.
Yeah, just humanity, precisely humanity, culture, African tenets, and then that's what I write most on. And I think one of the writing, I think actually I don't even expect to go that far, was when somebody from Ankara Black Players, Preshnaye, asked, I wrote something during the lockdown 2020, which went viral. She had how many thousand, over 30,000 views or so, millions of views there on that stuff. It was about how the world is crumbling and all that, how we have to get shit together. I was shocked myself that, wow, this could go this far.
Yeah.
I just wrote it, just let me write something about how I feel.
Yeah.
Because mine comes from inspiration. I'll just sit, and then it comes like a voice telling me what to write at that point. So that's how I get mine. So that's just basically.
It's so funny of what can come out from what you least expect.
telling
Like
you.
most of the times, the things you don't really look forward to, the things you are not expecting for it to be like a breakthrough or whatever it will be, they just always turn out to be like, you know, the bank and all that stuff.
That was just it. That was just it. So I
How
got
would you
this.
describe your journey so far?
Wow, I won't lie to you. It has not been an easy task because at some point you get fed up. If you are not doing it from the passion, you get frustrated because when you're aiming to make millions, then you don't meet target. It gets to you as human. But when it's born out of free will, there's this joy you get doing these things. You're not being paid, but once you write, you feel fulfilled. You just feel, yes, I have done something. To me, I won't lie to you. Writing is the only thing that keeps me going. If I
Right.
write, I just feel, yes, people say, wow, I just think, okay, I'm fine. I'm not doing it because I want to make money. Maybe in the long run, maybe write a book or something because I have other people I look up to who are writers also. So that's just it.
Okay, that's true. You know, at the end of the day, we do things for passion,
Yeah.
and on a long run for sustainability, we end up
Uh,
monetizing the things
that's
because
right.
at the
That's
end
just
of
the
the day,
goal.
that's how the world
That's
revolves.
the word. That's the word right now.
You know, Facebook was created for just a group of people, but right
But
now it's a
today,
money-making machine.
that is how the world is, so, my dear.
What would you say are the most notable challenges you've experienced as a writer?
The worst thing that is happening to us in Nigeria is the high level of illiteracy in the world today. People are not objective when
Right.
criticizing your work. However, I strongly believe that critics are unsung heroes. So if you get enough critique, it makes you do better. But
True.
constructive criticism,
Critics.
not just
Yeah.
a random person who just feel bond of hatred for you and not to
Yeah,
hate,
yeah.
just say something and then it goes into you. Are humans too. It gets to you at some point, but you have to go, it takes skin and then just look at it's life. That's just it. Nothing more again. But it has been challenging so far. I won't lie to you. It has been challenging so far. Because we have few persons who wants to listen to you as a writer. They see
Right.
that get a life, man, you're wasting your time, there's nothing there. Even for people you care about, they try to look down on you and as humans it gets to you. So sometimes it's like that and then other times c'est la vie.
And
That's the word we live.
that's true. That's true. I've had someone on here before that was a speaker, and you know, he made a statement about if you want to criticize me, you better criticize with caution, because you also have to still give him his credit. Then you can criticize him. So
That,
I can
that's
solely
just it.
relate to that as well. What would you describe, or how would you describe the importance of your art and creativity to the society? Because you know, you've been mentioning about the society, the country, Nigeria, and the rest of it.
I thank you very much. I think the first thing is to start from your nuclear family,
Right.
from your
Right.
environment, because man by nature is a product of his environment and culture. So start from environment. Once you conscientize those around you, who they see impact, people look up to you, unknown to you. Since
Mm-hmm.
2011, I got a saying from a friend, John, in Futo. He said, observers are watching. People watch you unknown to you. They see your
Yes.
writing. They see what you do.
Yeah.
They get inspired.
Yes.
In a kind of black players, there's a woman I love so much, Madam Levy. I admire her. She tells me, Daniel, I love the way you write. I just keep doing it. People, many persons from the say, wow, you write so well, write a book or something, do this, do this. But then I think to some extent, those ones believe in me that this guy has potential. Maybe with
Yeah.
time, if he harnesses them very well, he will go this level and he will go that far. So I
Yeah.
think that's just it. So most start from where you are. People know, okay, this guy is this, he can do this. Most even my friend in the UK at some point gave me article to write. My high school
Oh.
friend, way back in school, 2526, called me 2 years back in UK that please help me. That means he saw something
In
that this guy
you.
can do this thing.
Yeah.
Let me reach out to him. So that's just it. So people start from your environment and then the world is watching.
Definitely. That's an encouragement as well. That's an encouragement to me as well. I can so relate to that. Because most of the time you might look like, oh, what you're doing, you're not getting the right audience, you're not doing
But people
getting the right views or
are watching
like or
you.
whatever viral. But you don't know that people, like, especially with this reels thing on Instagram, you see you have over 100 and something view, only 2 or 3 likes. What happened to every other person? They're just viewing,
You are
they're just
watching
observing what
me,
is going on. All
hoping for
right.
that breakthrough. Yeah.
So what would you say are like the issues bothering contemporary African writer? You know, especially in Nigeria as well, especially in Nigeria.
Uh, I won't lie to you. I won't lie to you. It is challenging because everybody in Nigeria wants to survive first. They said, but hope is for those that dream and wake. When you've eaten, you will now have strength to chase your dreams.
Yeah.
So that is the first challenge. The high poverty rate in Nigeria also is a menace because publishing a book now is not 1,500, it's not 2,000 naira. It's not. So if the economy remains this way, most persons will not even give ear to writing at all.
True.
Because you're talking nonsense. They want to see visible changes first.
True.
And to them, writing is the least of it. So we must, as writers, hold on to that hope that someday a future would come up from writing. Like for me, there's a girl called Chidera Okoli, I think 2014 or 16, she was a poet.
Yeah.
I used to follow her then. Likes of Chimamanda, Ngozi Adichie, Delu. These are people that I just love to read. And I read from them and say, wow, this was, I see there is hope because they try to create a nexus between reality and what the world is talking about. So that's just it. So, yeah.
We need to keep believing in the country, right? Because at the end of the day, we cannot all leave the country.
We cannot leave. We cannot leave.
Even with the war in Ukraine is not still empty. So we can't all leave the country. I strongly believe
as Africans, like the metropolis and the colonies, even if they open the border, everybody does. Some of us will still remain here. We cannot leave once now. We must still be here. So we have to create a room.
Little bit cranky. Sorry.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah, I'm listening to you. Sorry about that.
So I said that we all cannot leave. Even if the metropolis creates room for we with the colonies, we all cannot leave. We have to stay back and make our environment conducive for everybody to live in. So that's just it. We all cannot leave.
Because even where you're moving to is already crowded in a way.
Already.
And by the time we all get there, we're already crowding that space.
And you would be treated like a second-class person.
Right.
That's the problem. So,
right. That's true. That's true. So what do you think can be done different, to address this issue? Is it from the government? Is it from the people? What do you think can be done different for them to be able to address these issues?
In as much as the government holds a large percentage, we as the people have lots of work to be done. I'll tell you one thing for free. The African person or the common Nigerian man is very, very wicked. The average is very, very wicked. That's the given. So we just try to blame the government and all, but most of us are way worse than the government.
Right.
And that's the truth. Though the government shares a large portion of this blame, but we as a people, if we can do better, at least, even if for example, my next door neighbor gives me a garri when I'm hungry, I will still believe in humanity because of him. That at least he gives. That's okay. Let's hope someday. But if my next door neighbor is showing me how wicked the world is, then who am I to blame the government? So I think we must start from us. That's the first thing. From somewhere. Yeah.
Because most of the time, we just tend to want to point finger to the next person. Oh, is this person's fault? Oh, it's not. Nobody wants to be accountable for it. Oh, it's this person's fault. It's not my fault. I'm not the one that did it. Is it me that like some sellers, some people that are selling things and all that, or let me use the like of the skincare people and all that stuff. Most time they be like, oh, they bought the wrong material. Oh, the agency did not register me on time. Like there's always another person that is the issue, but never them. Like we always, as human beings,
it's almost a black man's thing. They try to blame somebody else but themselves. So it's almost a black man thing.
All right. So how have you been able to navigate adulthood with your career path? It's not an easy one.
Whoever, I strongly believe that whoever survives Nigeria till now deserves an award. I'm telling you for free. Because you before you harness your dream, you must have a safe environment for you, a safe haven. Before you think of, before you think of chasing your career, there must be something in place for you. That is why when young Nigerians go abroad, give them few years, they're already blown because the system there supports that dream. There's room for you to be creative. But here you're thinking of, you woke up today, you bought bread for 800 naira. Tomorrow is 1,000 naira. Tomorrow is 1,001. Tomorrow is 1,002.
Right.
So before you know, you're not even stable. Yet your income remains the same. That's the problem. So adulthood now, at some point you have to fend, survive. Is it not when you have enough to eat, you have to sub data, Instagram, you not think of okay, I won't write book, go with somebody else. So that's the challenge. If Nigeria can at least make this country conducive, we are a great people, like tell you truth. Like Bantu Biko said, black is beautiful. Stephen Bantu Biko, we are great people, we're a great nation. We just need to get it right, that's just it. And we're good to go.
That's very true. That's very true. Like, it's so relatable because even when either you're running a business or you're even working for someone, you're still facing hardship in one way or the other. Because if you're running your business, the country is not going to help you with that money and giving you financial aid or even helping you with the environment. If you're working for someone, your salary is not going to get increased. Even in your own country that you're not getting paid well, but they're bringing in foreigners that are not even up to your level and they're paying them well.
Them handsomely.
Do you get? So like this situation needs to be addressed and it's affecting everybody. I don't think it's only business owner or like literally everybody, even the market woman, like it's literally affecting every citizen. Actually, it's not just a particular persons as well, and all these things is like things that discourages people and they end up swaying away to the wrong path and all that, and we give excuses and look for another reason to say why this, why that, and all that stuff as well. So would you say your family and friends have been supportive of your career decision, considering you finished school and you're not looking for a 9-to-5 job or something?
Basically, I think I have one of the best support systems so far. I have real G's, like real friends who I don't have many, but the ones I have, they stay put. So it's basically, do this thing, 1 or 2 little gigs sideways, Like when I used to run a podcast with J Stan, she said at some point it is okay to post your dream first and chase what you want. They can come back to it. You have to be stable enough to chase that dream. Because help is not from anybody except God wants to help you, which God will help you eventually. But you have to at least get something doing first. Then you chase that. So basically, it has been, one thing there, one thing there. God has been faithful. That's the key word.
That's very true. I think for myself, well, most of the times, you feel like you have friends, you conversate with people. Like if you look at your contact, oh, I have a lot of friends. Oh, I have this. But when you start up something, you need, the minimal support from them for that. It's not asking for money. I'm not asking you to give me money. I'm not asking you to do, maybe just to share the business, maybe just to, refer and all that. It becomes something so difficult for people. But at the end of the day, there's a lady that was on this show and she said, she made this statement about success attracts friends, right? Like if you are successful, everybody wants to be your friend. So like most of the time we just be around the wrong people at some time. But at the end of the day, like you said, you have some real people. Having, even if it's 1 or 2 persons you can count on, I think it always gives us that support to know that we can keep going, and that encouragement to still be there, not to give up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you're right. Of course.
So what have been your motivation so far with all the situation in the country and otherwise?
It might sound funny, but if you follow Big Bird, Shehu Kuti on IG,
yeah,
that man is a doyen. I look up to him because sometimes when you want to keep up, see people, I believe that we writers are the last of our kind. Because if you see people who wants to make things, who wants to act the world should become sane, it gives you hope that yes, you can do something better. And I think with the menace in the world today, we need people who should come together collectively to reinstate family values. And I see few writers, few people who are critics doing these things, trying to bring norm back to society at large. So that has been so far my motivation, because the world is going rogue. We all cannot go rogue. Some persons must preserve that culture. And I think I want to tell that part. Like the Ubuntu culture, which means harmony, collectiveness, like togetherness, Ubuntu. So it has, collective. Let us come together as a people and then make things work. Because if I exist, you exist. If two of us put heads together, like minds, we'll go far. That is one thing.
That's
So far, I
true.
think that has my motivation. So,
Teamwork.
so
Teamwork, right?
teamwork,
Collaboration and
teamwork.
teamwork, right? Because
Humanity
no
should come
man is an
first.
island.
You cannot do it alone. That's a fact. All these people
Mhm.
who come online and say, nobody, you cannot survive alone. You cannot. Either
True.
somebody helps you or you form a team. You cannot do it alone now. You cannot. Cannot.
That's so true.
So
What was
that's just
so this is like an old discussion. Were you saying something?
no,
Sorry.
go on. No, I'm true.
This was like an old discussion, about few months ago. That was like during the election period.
Okay.
So I wanted to ask, what was your take with, the election? Okay, you can say no
Please.
comment.
No. You see, I would not really blame some persons because
Yeah,
if you look at elementary governments, democracy precisely, one of the disadvantages is illiteracy of democracy because democracy, according to Plato, seems to be the best of all lawless governments and the worst of all lawful governments. So imagine me if I just have like, let me say 20 million naira and I gather some youth who have been suffering, who are hungry, and I give them
yeah,
1,000 naira. They will vote for me. They don't even know that elections have consequences. They don't know. It's not their fault. Bigots everywhere. I would not blame them, to be frank, because when Bob Marley said emancipate yourselves from mental slavery, many people are still caught in that web of slavery. They are still caught
yeah.
in that web. So they don't know what to do. To them, they feel tribe come first. As long as I drink poison served in my tribal cup, I can die in peace. So that's how I choose.
Yeah,
So as long as these things are in place, I won't lie. Though I had a different stand, but I will not blame anybody, my dear. It's life. It's
that's
life.
true.
So we'll seeing it play out. Nigeria as a country, multi, let me not go far. Let me just stop there, please. For the sake of
I'm seeing, for the sake of,
let me just hold this, please. Let me just stop
I've
there.
seen someone's comment that says they failed in the education sector and now they're importing foreigners who has experienced to milk the little we have. And I also think most of the times the foreigners are not even really that experienced. I think like there was this restaurant I worked as a customer care head of the customer care department, and they have their floor manager, is Lebanese, obviously. They have their a floor manager, and that floor manager in his country was like just a bartender. He was a bartender, but here he is now. They're paying him as an expatriate for a floor manager. They're paying him his allowance. They're paying him his travel allowance, all these things. And then we have the HR, who is a graduate of accounting, and he is also an ICANN graduate. He's working as the HR, and his salary, he doesn't even have any of that, common basic benefits of
Let
having an
me
allowance.
let me shock you. Let me shock you on that. There's a popular saying in Latin, "Homo homini lupus," which means man is a wolf to man. Let me travel your mind back, 2009, 10. All
Yeah,
these factory workers, Lebanese precisely. Do you
yeah,
know that it is the blacks that are more wicked than the whites? Do you believe? A white man starts up a firm and decides to pay the blacks that work there, let's say 50K every month.
yeah,
The
yeah.
black man who tell the Lebanese that the money is too
It's too
much.
much.
Let's pay them
True,
20K, they work.
true,
So it is black is killing black. It is not. I don't blame the white. If you have a working system, a white man cannot do anyhow in your country. But the
true.
blacks here give him credence. So we are slaves. Actually, we were slaves. In our home, we were slaves. We're not free. So I will not blame a common partner who's from Lebanon who came to become something else. It's normal everywhere. The skin color
That's so true.
is the major problem there. So I won't blame the white, I'll blame the blacks. I've seen it play out several times now, where a Lebanese choose, okay, let me pay them 100K. The black man will say, no, it's too much. Pay them 40K a month, they'll survive. That's life. So would you blame the black or the white? Who would you blame? You blame the black man. So I don't even want to go there because we blacks are something else in that regard. So that's my take on that.
That's so true. Even with the same experience as you have been with someone interviewing a guest, and she's a girl and she's a graduate, And the basic salary that they are putting up for the position is actually 80K. But my guy is still telling us to reduce it to 60K. You get,
80K.
and you can see this person is a graduate.
Let me tell you for free, 80K is huge. I'm being real now.
Yeah, because actually the minimum wage is 30,000 or so.
Graduates earn 70K, 60K. They do 9 to 5. In fact, they work Saturdays also. I'm being real here. I know a friend currently working who earns 70K. He works Saturdays also. Some earn 50K, 40K. Somebody wants to come for a job that they'll pay 40K a month. You work till Saturday. I am telling you what is going on. So whenever I'm on Twitter, I see people say, what is 5K? People are suffering, my dear. People are suffering. They earn way less, like way less than that. Way less. So what would you say? So it's like for
and all these things,
40K, 30K a month.
Right? With the minimum wage as well, you won't blame them.
Oh.
You won't blame them.
Minimum wage of 30K. What can you buy with 30K a month as a graduate, as a man? That
aside
means you have to eat 001 or 100, or you eat unbalanced meal to survive. There is serious problem in Nigeria. Serious problem.
It is a really serious one. I'm like, what are we going to do? As you said, we keep hoping, we keep praying. Like at the end of the day,
I don't subscribe. I don't subscribe to that prayer space. I don't. You know why? After the Second World War, Europe was in ruins. They came together to build Europe, but they did not pray to God. It was a collective effort.
Yeah.
We must come together. We cannot keep doing the wrong thing and expecting
the
results. It's not possible.
Results.
We cannot. You cannot keep voting incompetence and expect miracle. You cannot. We'll keep shuffling between mediocrity and then what have you. Somebody has potentials. You say you know, but you will not put them in. Then you bring who doesn't even have a good record and you say you hope that we will not pray. Who would pray? Let me tell you for free. God is busy with Iraq and Iran, not Nigeria. He has blessed us enough now. We should fix ourselves. It's an effort we must all come to do, not pray to God or hope for what, to do what for us. We are not plagued by disasters. We were very okay, good economy. What do we want again? Just few greedy men. That's all. It is that bad. Very, very painful. Very painful. Very painful.
And even the Bible actually says, heaven help those who help themselves. And faith without work is nothing at the end of the day. Because
Nigerians will buy a church and convert it, buy a factory and convert to a church.
Convert it to a church.
For job. Can you imagine? You buy a church, convert it to a factory. You buy a factory, switch to a church, and then people come to pray for job. Are we normal like this in
when
Nigeria?
You just took out the job?
I don't know. So that's why we've kept this life for so long. And then we pray to God, we pray. What are we praying for? God has blessed us already. We are not plagued by anything. We are very good economy. Just few greedy men, that's all. So why we pray?
That's it, though.
Let us walk and build our country back. That's my take.
That's so true, you know. Well, all we have to do, or all we had, the power we had was during the election, you know, and now the rest is left to the judiciary system, which everybody is just, you know, all.
What do you think? What do you think would happen? Nothing will happen.
Right.
Nothing will happen. Nothing.
Okay.
We can only hope. Let's just hope.
Okay, now you're back to my hope.
We can only hope because we already know what will play out. Let's just hope.
Right. That's so true. That's so true, because obviously someone will not decide to be the first person to step down when he knows a lot of others have done the same thing. So why should he be the first person to accept that?
He won't. That step down, forget it. It will not work. Say something else. It will work. Something else.
Well,
my anger in this is that you see young boys like us, young minds who should think outside the box, defending this same government. It sickens me. I won't lie. I can understand the old greedy men who wants to hold on to power for God knows how long. But see a young mind defend them, yet he's getting nothing from them. That's the problem. I tell a friend for free. if you want to vote the bad government, do it. It's democracy because you want to gain from them. Don't convince us that there will be a change. You and I know there will not change anywhere. You and I know.
Yes.
But because of what you want to eat, I can excuse that as a Nigerian thing after all. You favor me and my family. So be it. But you're gaining nothing. Yet you're defending them. It has to be mental slavery. No, you're not normal. You're not normal at all. I can see you're not normal. That's a fact.
I know, right? It's so painful though. The conversation most of the time, we can go on and on this conversation, and at the end of the day, we can go on and on about it. So I wanted to ask, aside from being a writer and a poet, what other things are you passionate about?
To be frank with you, if I must be sincere with you, maybe into tech. Yes, tech. I think I'm
tech?
Very into tech for now, to the tech world. So I think I want to go fully into tech. Yeah, to the tech world. And then aside that, but writing and tech.
Considering being an artist?
I've not considered. I've not.
I get that. So what's an unpopular opinion about you?
People look at me as somebody who's very, very stubborn, rough, and but I cry sometimes. Very fragile heart. Sometimes I just look like I have this thick skin outside, but deep down I get bothered by little things. They bother me also. Yeah, they bother me. I get triggered at like the slightest things sometimes. So.
It's always the soft ones that have that, strong physical look or attribute as well.
Exactly. So.
All right. So, we've been on and on for a while, and the conversation has actually been a nice one. Thank you, Chukwudi, or thank you, Chido, for sharing your story. It's been awesome chatting with you on this segment. But, before you go, kindly share with us, 3 things we can learn from you.
First thing is whatever you are so keen in doing, keep doing it. People are watching you someday.
Yeah.
Second, it is okay to pause your dream and chase reality at some point because you have a dream to become a footballer. If the country is not really giving you, pause it and chase something else. It's okay to pause. When you get stability, you come back to that thing.
True.
It's you don't have to just chase one thing for too long, hoping that no matter what you must get there. If at some point it gets choking, it's not for you to drop them and then go pause them for a while and then chase that dreams. That's just it. And then lastly, believe in God, but work hard. I believe in God, but work hard. Yeah.
All right, that will be all for today. Thank you once again for owning your story with Ovi.
Thank you, Ovi, for having me here.
All right. All right, let me allow you to enjoy the rest of your day. Go ahead and keep being the best you are.
I'm very much obliged. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. All right, guys. So remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel, drop a comment, share to family and friends, and also you can send me an email with a review if you have any suggestion or anything you would like me to add up to the conversation. All right, that will be all for today. Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening. This is Ovi. I'm signing out, and I'll see you next segment. I'll see you in the next segment. So stay safe out there and be good. Thanks for watching again. Enjoy the rest of the day.